So we are now live. I apologize for that. We had that fun little intro at the beginning. Today we're going to be breaking Vintage Sports Hut, a box of 1999 Donruss. 1990 Donruss. Doesn't get a lot of love. The set design isn't very exciting in and of itself. I kind of like it personally. I think it's great for grading. And I've seen a lot of graded cards out there, PSA Gem 10s, going for some pretty decent money, actually, surprisingly, from a junk wax set like this. So key cards that we're looking for are obviously Bonos, any of the Bo collection. We've got the Bo Jackson base. We have the Bo Jackson Diamond Kings. We've got a Bo Jackson MVP. We've got a Bo Jackson All-Star. Another card that we're going to be looking for is Juan Gonzalez right here. Juan Gonzalez. There we go. And we'll be looking for him with the reverse negative image. We want to get that reverse negative image of Juan Gonzalez. That's the one that's really hot right now. There's a lot of errors in this set. Of course, we do have Ken Griffey Jr. We also have a Ken Griffey Jr. Diamond King, which is nice and sleeved up right there. Nice and shiny. There we go. That card actually is going in to be graded, so that's why it's not sitting up there. Of course, we do have people in this break, and it's a small little thing here, but let's see if we can get a focus on it. Small card. Not many people are in the break this week. We only have Andrew SF for the Cubs and Linda P for the White Sox. It's always more fun when we have more people in these breaks, but at this moment, we only have the two of you who came in. So thank you for making these box breaks possible. They're a lot of fun for me. I enjoy going back and looking at some of the cards that I collected as a kid, and I think we'll have a lot of fun looking at some of these cards today. I'd want to quickly take you over to, I'm going to share my screen with you for just a moment here and take you over to the trading card database, where you should be able to see, I hope, the main page here with errors and variations, because that's really what we're looking for in this set are the errors and variation cards. That's really what's most prevalent. I'm not sure if that's actually showing on the screen. Can't tell. Nope, it doesn't look like it is. So let me bring that to the front. Trying some new things here. We're trying to use Lightstream as our way to inject to YouTube, and it doesn't want to seem to work. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play around with that. We're going to get rid of that screen, and we're going to go back over to our errors and variations list and see that we have things like Ruben Sierra with no back notch on the top border, uncorrected error, incorrect batting average, and write-up. Then there's a variation with a black notch on back top border, UER, uncorrected error, incorrect batting average in the write-up. So all kinds of errors throughout this set. Juan Gonzalez, I already mentioned, 33A. We've got a reverse negative photo. That's one that we're looking for. Dale Murphy has one where the black line extends into the D of the Dale on the front. The variation is the black line does not extend into the D of Dale on the front. Another big one is Kirk Gibson with the wrong birth date, 5/25 versus 5/28. We also have a number of Bo Jackson errors where it was pretty common with the All-Star cards to have their All-Star performance listed on the back in the corrected version, but their actual Major League record performance on the front. So we'll keep a lookout for those. We do have Nolan Ryan, 5,000K card with a couple of different variations. The most important one, though, is the one where it's 665 on the back. We've got the wrong card back on that one. And a number of errors with Harold Baines as well. So we'll come back and take a look at that when we get a chance a little later on. So Nolan Ryan we're looking for Cal Ripken error juniors, Ryan Sandberg errors. There's all kinds of errors throughout this set. And those are the ones that are kind of the hot ones right now are the error cards on eBay. All right, so I know we are looking probably for Ryan Sandberg for Andrew. There you go. Sandberg is one of my favorites, Rhino there. And of course, we've got Sammy Sosa in this set, one of his very first cards. Not his rookie per se, but definitely one of his early cards that does grade nicely. And hopefully we can find one of those for you, Linda, as well as a bunch of others. So without further ado, let's get into our box break of 1990 Donruss. Here we go. You can win instantly over 1 million prizes, it says right there on the box. You can see the Donruss wrapping is still intact. This was actually a product that was made by Leaf back in the day. So Donruss was actually owned by Leaf instead of Panini. And so that's a fun little fact. This box came directly from the baseball card exchange in Indiana. So we know that it is a valid box. I'm going to go ahead and give it a common tap, chase out all those nasty commons. We want all those fun errors. We'll give it a Poe tap as well, just a little Poe, and give it a little poke there. And let's get into, using Sting, our box of 1990 Donruss. Without further ado, because this is going to be a long break. It's going to be a long break, I guarantee that, because there are a lot of cards in here, 36 packs of baseball cards. And who knows how many are in a pack, I can't remember off the top of my head. They do have this really lovely orange wax wrapper, so hopefully we don't have too much stickage to the back of those cards. One of the things with Donruss is that you don't have the gum, of course, in the cards. You don't have that gum, but you do have wax, and wax sticks to the back of these cards like nobody's business, especially if they've been sitting in a shop for some time. All right, so let's get into these. Here we go. First pack of 1990 Donruss. We get 3 puzzle pieces and 16 cards per pack. Oh, these are really stuck together. So I do apologize if you end up with some wax on the back of your cards or even some wrapper on the back of your cards. I'm going to do my best to open these carefully. There we go. That one's not too bad. All righty. Here's our lovely puzzle piece of Carl Yastrzemski. And let's get into it without further ado. All right, we have got Paul Gibson, and Dennis Cook, Gene Larkin, Danny Darwin, Carney Langford. Wow, I haven't seen Carney Langford in forever. I remember chasing him as a kid. This is what the back of the cards look like. Pretty plain. Nice orange coloring there. Carney Ray Langford right there. Or Langsford, I can't even say his name right. All right, we've got Ted Hagura. I've got his auto somewhere. There's our first rated rookie. The rated rookies from this set are really kind of nice. There's Julio Machado. We've got Greg Briley of the Mariners. There's our first Cub for Andrew, Jeff Pico. So that one's coming out to you, Andrew. All cards do ship, obviously, especially in a break like this, right? And if you do not get 5 cards, our current policy is that you will get a refund, or $2 refund on your shipping if you do not get at least 5 cards. I think moving forward, we may end up doing a thing where we'll give you a couple extra cards from our collection. All right. So there's John Smoltz. That's a nice Smolty. Lee Gutterman for the Yankees. Jeff Parrott for the Phillies. Rick Russo All-Star for the Pirates there, I believe. Paul O'Neill of the Reds. Mookie Wilson of the Blue Jays. And Bill Schroeder of the Angels. Next pack. We'll just go right across the box here. I will do my best not to let these get too stuck together. That's an interesting one. I've never seen the card backwards in a pack like that. And unfortunately, it's Lee Mazzelli, and you can see just how nasty that is when the card is packed backwards and gets the wrapper stuck on there. Lee Mazzelli, Kurt Stillwell. There's our first Barry Bonds, long before his steroid era, right? Well, alleged steroid era. There's Kirk Gibson. That's one that has a possibility of an error. I believe his birthday is 5/25, and I think the error is, let me see here real quick. Let me see if I can find that Kirk Gibson error. Oop. There it is. Oh, actually, that is the error card. He was born on 5/28, so that's an error card. That one I might have to send in for grading. Get that sent in and see how that works out. There's our Yastrzemski puzzle piece. Flipping over, we see we've got Roberto Kelly with the Yankees. Scott Scudder of the Reds. Pat Border with the Blue Jays. Wally Joyner with the Angels. Mark Langston with the Expos. There's Tommy Herr. That's what the Diamond Kings look like in this particular set. They're kind of fun, a little kooky. Guillermo Hernandez with the Tigers. It's a nice Oral Hershiser with his pitching stance there. Mark Grant with the Padres. Billy Swift with the Mariners. And there's our first White Sox for Linda. Melito Perez? I don't remember him. Melito Perez of the White Sox. So there you go, Linda. Got your first card. And rounding out with Kevin Brown of the Rangers. Next pack. We have on the back, oh, look at how stuck those are together. Cam Caminetti, it looks like. But on the front, we've got George Bell with the Blue Jays. There's what the puzzle looks like, right there, puzzle piece. Looks nice. Dan Plesac with the Brewers. Scott Terry of the Cardinals. Al Leiter with the Blue Jays. Ricky Jordan with the Phillies. Brooke Jacoby with the Indians. Frank Williams with the Tigers. Jeff Musselman, I remember making fun of his name as a kid, with the Mets. There's another White Sox for Linda, Scott Fletcher. Alex Sanchez, rated rookie, with the Blue Jays. Roberto Alomar of the Padres. Brian Downing with the Angels. There's a Julio Franco. I always got Julio Franco confused with Juan Gonzalez. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if they had a very similar batting stance or what, but I always got Julio and Juan confused. Frank Tanana with the Tigers, and there's our Ken Caminetti with all of that nasty wax on the back. Oh, I can't even get this one torn. That's pretty bad when they're that stuck. Almost would prefer the bubble gum. The nice thing about this is even when they do get stuck, that puzzle piece protects the corners on the front. And the back card is just, I don't know, it's just what it is. Wow, is that stuck. Luis Andrew Polona, I'm sorry, you're all waxy. All right, there's a nice David Justice right there. It's a little off center, top and bottom, but otherwise that's a great looking card. Marty Barrett with the Red Sox. Carmelo Martinez of the Padres. Wes Gardner with the Red Sox. Tommy Herr with the Phillies. So nice Kent Herbert with the Twins. Gerald Young of the Astros. Ramon Martinez, Pedro's brother, was actually more popular than Pedro for a while. Chuck Grimm of the Brewers. There's a Scott Coolball with the Rangers. Alvin Davis of the Mariners. Brad Kubnik with the Indians. Tony Castillo with the Braves. Alvaro Espinoza with the Yankees. Ron Jones of the Phillies, and Luis Polonia of the Yankees. Trying to be careful with those back cards, but it's just next to impossible. If I do notice that it's a White Sox or a Cub, I'll try to be a little bit more careful for you guys. Those are your Strumsky cards. Spike Owen of the Expos. Oh, there's a real nice Ken Griffey Jr. right there. Got another one. It's possible to go in for grading. Corners are good. Top and bottom is really bad. Bottom centering is awful. That one probably will not go in for grading, but it's a fun one to have in the collection anyway. We have Devin White of the Angels. Jose Nunez with the Blue Jays. Tom Pagnozzi with the Cardinals. There's another Bonds. Mike Morgan of the Dodgers. Rick Mailer of the Reds. Todd Stottlemyre with the Blue Jays. Ed Winston of the Padres. Jay Buhner of the Mariners. There's a nice Lance Johnson for Linda over there on your White Sox stack. Steve Bewley with the Rangers. Pat Combs of the Phillies. Will Clark. Will the Thrill with the Giants. Never got enough love. Will never got enough love. Kevin Tapani with the Twins. Oops. Oh my goodness, these cards. There we go. Whoop. Making a mess. Poor collation on top of it. So we've got Rick Montesluve with the Angels. Ben McDonald. That's a nice looking card. Rated rookie Ben McDonald. I remember Ben. Great pitcher with the Orioles. That one might go in as well. Jeff Brentley with the Giants. John Moses with the Twins. There's a nice Jose Canseco with the A's. Ernest Riles with the Giants. Tom Mergrain with the Indians. Billy Hatcher of the Pirates. Mark Gubzickia with the Royals, R.J. Reynolds with the Pirates, Sid Fernandez with the Mets, Bryn Smith with the Expos. He's got a Diamond King in there somewhere. Alan Trammell with the Tigers. There's another Ruben Sierra of the Rangers. Again, confusing him with who we're looking for, which is Juan Gonzalez. We've got Glenn Wilson of the Astros and Luis Quinzios with the Reds. Next pack. Alrighty, we've got, gorgeous Ozzie Guillen for Linda. Look at that, Linda. That's a nice looking card. That's a fun Diamond King right there. All right, cool. We've got Milt Thompson of the Cardinals, Brett Saberhagen of the Royals, Bob Malachy of the Orioles, whoops, Vance Law with the Cubs for Andrew, Zane Smith with the Expos, Greg Harris of the Red Sox, Jose Rio with the Reds, Danny Heap with the Red Sox, Bob Tewksbury with the Cardinals, Rob Murphy of the Red Sox, Ken Howell with the Phillies, Ron Robinson with the Reds, Dave Stieb with the Blue Jays, Wally Joyner with the Angels, and Mark Langston with the Expos. I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of this stack, get that put off to the side, and get into our next pack. There are a lot of cards in this break, folks, so sit back, grab some popcorn, have a beverage, and enjoy watching history happen here as we pull out some of these vintage 1990s baseball cards from Donruss. All right, Danny Jackson with the Reds, Dave Stieb with the Blue Jays, Bert Blyleven of the Angels, Bo Allred with the Indians. There's a nice Mike Bilecki for Andrew. There's the commish, Bart Giamatti. It's probably one of the few commissioner cards that are actually out there. Kelly Gruber with the Blue Jays, Steve Farr of the Royals, Tony Gwynn, nice looking Tony Gwynn there with the Padres, Willie Randolph with the Dodgers, Tim Brustos with the Reds, Mike Davis of the Dodgers. There's another nice Tony Gwynn. It's a Gwynn pack. It's a Gwynn twofer. We've got a Jeffrey Leonard of the Mariners, Eric King of the White Sox, and a Scott Lusader of the Tigers. First 8 packs down. We're not even a third of the way through yet, folks. All right. Hope we enjoy these breaks. They're fun for me to go back and look at some of these older cards. Pat Harmich of the Orioles, Ernest Riles of the Giants, Jerry Brown with the Indians, Marty Clary of the Braves, almost skipped Ken Phelps there with the A's, Mike LaValliere with the Pirates. I always like saying his name as a kid. Mark Carson, the Mets. There is a very nice Larry Walker. Centering isn't great, but Hall of Famer for sure there. And one of the better cards in the set. Maybe that'll go up for grading. We'll see. I'll look at that one later. Kevin Mitchell with the Giants, John Cerruti with the Blue Jays, Bill Doran of the Astros, Herm Willingham of the Reds, a checklist, followed by Mitch Webster of the Cubs for Andrew. Nice George Brett, Mr. Pine Tar himself, and a Dave West at the Twins. Got a Les Lancaster on the back of this one. And we've got a Huey Brooks of the Expos, another Mitch Webster with the Cubs, a Jeff Montgomery of the Royals, Mark Guthrie with the Twins, Dennis Eckersley of the A's, loved Eck. I've got a few of him in my PC, a couple autographs and pieces of jersey and whatnot. Greg Litton of the Giants. There's our first Mark Grace going for Andrew. Very nice Grace. Centering's a little off right to left, but otherwise very, very nice sharp corners. I don't know if you can see that there. Nice Mark Grace. On the back, so the back looks like very nice corners. We will actually go ahead and sleeve that one up for you, Andrew. Of course, I will send the better cards in top loaders and package them all nicely into a team bag for you, and you'll get all of your stuff within the week. Shipping day is usually Monday, if not Tuesday, the very latest. All right, Derek Lilliquist of the Braves, Henry Cotto of the Mariners, Luis Aquino of the Royals. Got a nice, very nice, Carlton Fisk MVP with the White Sox there for Linda. Jim DeShays with the Astros, Chili Davis, Angels, Brian Holman with the Mariners, Rick Honeycutt of the A's, and another Les Lancaster for the Cubbies. So really and truly, this is kind of an interesting story because I have two teams in this break. One is Linda, who's got the White Sox. The other is Andrew with the Cubs. And I was a diehard Cubs fan growing up. There's Tommy Herr with the Kings, Rich Monteslove with the Angels, Lee Mazzelli with the Blue Jays, Kurt Stillwell with the Royals, Bob Kipper of the Pirates, Mike Sharpenson with the Dodgers, Todd Berenger of the Reds, Lenny Harris of the Dodgers, Eric Show, welcome to the show, with the Padres, Jeffrey Leonard of the Mariners, Melindo Perez again with the White Sox there, Kevin Brown of the Rangers, another Ben McDonald. Take a look at that later. Jeff Brentley of the Giants, John Moses of the Twins, and Jose Canseco that is much better centered, but unfortunately is covered with wax on the back, so that won't go in for grading. But that's going back to that story about the Cubs versus the White Sox. So I am a diehard Cubby Blue, bleed blue Cubs fan. However, as a young man, the White Sox gave away tickets to the games for good report cards. So I actually ended up going to Comiskey more than I did to Wrigley. Mark Gardner, rated rookie there with the Expos. Another checklist. Jeff Reardon with the Twins. Mike Gallego with the A's. Terry Kennedy of the Giants. Tom, I can't even pronounce that last name. Oh, it's Candinati with the Indians. Sometimes the script on the card throws me off a bit. Pete Smith with the Braves. Jim Acker of the Blue Jays. Doug Drabeck with the Pirates. Hojo, Howard Johnson with the Mets. I always thought that Hojo owned the chain of hotels. Pascual Perez with the Expos. Nice Pedro Guerrero with the Cardinals there. Charlie Hugh with the Rangers. Kevin Bass. Again, another name that I always used to make fun of. If there was a Garbage Pail Kid card for this guy, you can just imagine what that would look like. I always called him the fish, Mr. Bass. John Franco with the Reds and Rex Hudler there of the Expos. Clean up some of this mess. Get it off to the side. Moving on forward to the best of our ability here. Getting through this break as fast as we can. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, especially with these backs sticking as bad as they are. All right, we've got Tom Lawless with the Blue Jays. Scott Garretts with the Giants. Nice Paul Ossenmacher. I remember watching Ossenmacher pitch as a kid with the Cubs. Jeff Treadway with the Braves. Jim Gantner with the Brewers. There's our first Bo Jackson All-Star. And it does have his All-Star Game performance on the back. Alvin Davis with the Mariners. Steve Sachs, Diamond Kings. Rance Mulligans with the Blue Jays. Brian Holcomb with the Mariners. Dave Stewart of the A's. Dwight Smith of the Cubs. Tom Filler of the Brewers. Lonnie Smith of the Braves. Mike Harkey with the Cubs. I remember Harkey pitching. Doing really well here today, Andrew. Got a lot of Cubs cards coming out. 1990 Donruss headed your way. Really hard not to make the quota of minimum of 5 cards with this product. All right, there's Tim Raines with the Expos. Always a great base stealer. Tim had at that point in his career 585 steals across 1,275 games. Wow, that's incredible. John Russell of the Braves. There's a Sean Dunston with the Cubs, going out to Andrew. Bobby Bonilla with the Pirates. Ray Surge of the Dodgers. There's a nice Mark McGwire. Pro tip, McGuire's cards are probably going to go up in value. There's a summer show coming similar to The Last Dance. It's called The Last Summer. That will be all about the home run derby between McGwire and Sosa. Omar Vizquel with the Mariners there. Don Paul of the White Sox. Julio Franco with the Rangers. Tony Fernandez with the Blue Jays. Mike Fitzgerald of the Expos. Kevin Mitchell All-Star card there for the Giants. There's a Juan Gonzalez, but it is not the reverse image. It is a very nice Juan Gonzalez, though. That might have to go in for a grade. Mike Jeffcoat of the Rangers. Juan Samuel of the Mets. And Steve Bjornstrom of the Giants. Incidentally, if there are any cards that you see that you didn't buy into in the break and they didn't go to anybody, please feel free to contact me and we can maybe work something out. all depending, of course. All right, we have a Pat Sheridan with the Giants, Mike Fielder of the Brewers, Andres Thomas of the Braves, Willie Wilson with the Royals, John Cangelosi with the Pirates there, another Hojo, Burn Smith of the Expos, Alan Trammell, MVP card, another Ruben Sierra, always throwing me off, thinking he's Juan Gonzalez. Glenn Wilson of the Astros, Luis Quinos of the Reds, Huey Brooks of the Expos. There's another Mike Bilecki there for Andrew. Dave Stewart, All-Star. Nice Kirby Puckett. Very nice Kirby Puckett. Love to see Kirby. And Todd Burns with the A's. Probably just about halfway through at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Hard for me to see. Oh, there are 3 people watching, so fantastic. Please do, if you can, leave a comment in the chat so that I know you're here and enjoying the break. Even if you're not enjoying the break, tell me I'm doing something wrong. Tell me I've called somebody a Hall of Famer who isn't, please. Kurt Wilkerson of the Cubs, Frank White with the Royals, Al Newman with the Twins, Felix Jose of the A's, Kevin Mitchell with the Giants. There's our first Rhino. Very nice. A little off top and bottom there, unfortunately. You can see that Donruss is just a little bit too close to the top. You see that there? But it is a very nice, sharp card. We'll get that in a sleeve for you, actually. There, Andrew. Give me a second here. Trying to be very careful with these sleeves. The heat has definitely broken in the Midwest. It's getting a little humid out there. Jack Morris with the Tigers, BJ Suroff of the Brewers, Gary Thurman of the Royals, Greg Swindell of the Indians, John Franco with the Reds there, Brian Harvey of the Angels, Jerry Reed with the Mariners, Terry Steinbach with the A's, Rich Rona of the Cubs. Don't remember Rich Rona, to be honest. Interesting. Catcher. Huh. Wallace Johnson with the Expos. Take away another stack of cards off to the side and move on to our next row of cards. I'm hoping the stream quality is okay. It seems like it's a little bit better than previous weeks, which is good. I'm planning on getting fiber brought into the house soon. And that's when we might start doing some more expensive vintage breaks. Right now, we're just doing junk wax so I can get some practice here. But expect much more better products coming down the line soon. Mark Henneman of the Tigers, Mike Blowers with the Yankees, Gene Harris of the Mariners. There's our first Sammy Sosa for Linda. Oh, and it's sharp too. That is pretty well centered, sharp corners. I don't know if you can see that, Linda. Really sharp corners. It's a little off top and bottom, just a little bit, but good centering, maybe a little left to right. But nice for Linda there. Oops, just dropped Larry Sheets to the ground. Let's get Sammy in a sleeve for Linda. There you go, Linda. Nice Sammy Sosa coming your way. All right, moving on. We've got Rick Leach of the Rangers, Tony Fernandez of the Blue Jays, Dennis Martinez of the Expos, Ken Hill of the Cardinals, Alex Sanchez, rated rookie for the Blue Jays, Cecilio Guante, never heard of him, for the Rangers, Barry Lyons of the Mets, Kurt McWarring of the Giants, Nick Easley of the Red Sox, Clint Zavaris with the Mariners, Rafael Belliard of the Pirates, and Larry Sheets, 2 sheets to the wind with the Orioles. All right, next up we have got Maru Goza with the Blue Jays, Felix Furman with the Indians, Jay Bell of the Pirates, Mark Turnbull of the Orioles, Ron Kittle with the White Sox. Funny story about Kittle. He signs a whole lot these days. You can find him just about anywhere signing baseballs. I think he's still doing that. I'm not sure what Kittle's up to these days, but Kittle is definitely out there, and he has signed a lot of balls for me. I know that in the past. So Ron Kittle was something else. I always liked those glasses too. He had the best glasses in baseball. Right there. He had the best glasses in baseball. 62 years old now. Ron Kittle. Awesome. All right. Wally Backman of the Twins. Nice Paul Molitor there for the Brewers. Checklist card. Checklist for the 700s. Erik Davis, MVP candidate there for the Reds. Was not a big fan of Erik Davis growing up. I don't know why. He just always rubbed me the wrong way. Tony Armas with the Angels. There's a nice Bo Jackson. Centering's a little bit off left to right. Otherwise, a pretty decent looking card. Mark Davis with the Padres. Gary Pettis of the Tigers. Eric Plunk with the Yankees. Ken Oberkfell with the Giants. And Tim Turfel with the Mets. I think we're just about halfway through the box at this point, folks. Believe it or not, there's a lot of cards in here. A lot of cards. All right, we have got a nice Geronimo Berroa, with the Braves. It's a weird little marking there on Jerome Walton, unfortunately. I don't know what that is. Looks like it's almost creased. I don't know if you can see that there, Andrew. But that's there before I send it to you, unfortunately. It's kind of a weird one. Mike Schmidt, all-time great card. These have a tendency to be, oh, wow. These have a tendency to be off-center because there's so much data here. And for whatever reason, they always seem to be cut right to the edge because of this big white box. This one's gorgeous. I think that one's going to end up sleeved and graded. Oops. All right, sleeve that one up. Headed to PSA. Matt Knowles with the Tigers, John Cosi with the A's, Mike Kingery with the Mariners. So another nice Ozzie Guillen, gorgeously centered there for Linda, maybe off a little top to bottom. We'll get Ozzie in a sleeve there for you too, Linda. That one's worth sleeving up. We've got Jamie Moyer with the Rangers, John Orald with the Blue Jays, Tom Foley of the Expos, John Morris of the Cardinals, Alex Sanchez with the Blue Jays, Pete, I can never pronounce Pete's last name, Incaviglia with the Rangers, Ron Darling of the Mets, Brian Myers of the Astros, and a nice Roger Clemens, well centered, except it was the back card and the wax is right there. I don't know if you can see that, but just enough to make it probably not worth doing much with. Okay, time to move these off. And on to our next pack in this box. Still probably about halfway to go. I haven't been really keeping count here of how many packs I've ripped. There's a lot of orange wax all over the floor at the moment, I can tell you that. All right, get rid of that Yastrzemski card. Donnell Nixon with the Giants. There's a nice Rhino. Also a little off center though, top and bottom. It's weird. I don't know why so many of these Rhino cards are so close to the top edge. But there you go. Another one coming your way, Andrew. Derek Lilliquist with the Braves, Henry Cotto of the Mariners, Luis Aquino of the Royals. So another nice Carlton Fisk there for you, Linda, coming your way. That one probably should get sleeved. The other one was a little off center. This one is very nice, very sharp. All right, Jim DeShays with the Diamond King card there. Chili Davis of the Angels. It's another one. This card always made me hungry. I always wanted to eat chili after that. Randy Johnson, nicely centered Randy Johnson there with the Mariners. Very nice card. Gary Ward with the Tigers. I'll put Randy in my pile for to look at later. Mitch Williams, the Wild Thing. There you go, Andrew. Very nicely centered card. That one could be a PSA 10. Dave Martinez with the Expos. Tommy Green with the Braves. Another Sean Dunston. I always loved Sean Dunston. One of my favorite shortstops of all times. Shawan Dunston. Bobby Bonilla with the Pirates. And Ray Siraj again there with the Dodgers. Wow. We have still got 16 packs to go, ladies and gentlemen. 16 packs to go. All right, let's see what we can do here. Oh, we've got a Sean Hilligus with the White Sox. Nice picture card there for Linda. We've got a Wally Backman of the Twins. Oral Hershiser MVP card for the Dodgers. Checklist number 300. There's Ruben Sierra, who I always get confused with Juan Gonzalez, but not that time. It's pretty clear who that was. Glenn Hoffman of the Angels. Steve Sachs, MVP. Greg Harris, Padres. Walt Terrell, pitcher for the Yankees. Bill Landman, pitcher for the Pirates. It's a pitcher pack. Don Robinson, pitcher for the Giants. I'm not kidding. Terry Brose, pitcher for the Mets. Fernando Valenzuela, pitcher for the Dodgers. Look at this. Dave Stewart, pitcher for the A's. Oh, we broke our pitcher streak with Fred Manrique there with the Rangers, and Kelly Mann with the Braves. It was a pitcher pack, a strong pitcher pack going in there. So as you can tell, I'm working on lighting. I'm playing around with things. I'm trying to make improvements to the stream. Things will get better, I promise. We will have better breaks and better cards in our breaks and so on and so forth. But for now, I appreciate you hanging out with me and looking at these old cards. Jesse Orosco of the Indians, another Dave Stewart with the, I like Dave Stewart, with the A's. There's a Harold Baines with the Rangers. Now that's interesting. That is so interesting because there are a couple of Baines cards when he's an all-star, and I think I could swear there's more Baines cards in here where he is not a Ranger. That is fascinating. That is, wow. I'm confused. Did they do a trade mid-year for Baines? That is awesome. They must have. 1989. So there it is right there. 1989, White Sox to Rangers. But he's got a base. I thought he had a base White Sox card in there. Did we not see a Baines already, Linda? Here. All right. Sandy Alomar, Jr. there with rated rookie. Willie Frazier with the Angels. Carlos Martinez with the White Sox. Alan Anderson with the Twins. Tom Browning of the Reds. Kurt Schilling with the Orioles. Very young Schilling there. Jay Howell with the Dodgers. Gary Sheffield with the Brewers. Mark Lemke with the Braves. John Kruk with the Phillies. Billy Ripken, infamous Bat Boy there. He had that one card way back when where the bat had something you really didn't want kids seeing on it, on the barrel, or on the bat there. Ruben Sierra there with the Rangers, and Bob Ojeda with the Mets. Right on the knob, Billy Ripken had something he did not want kids reading, and they quickly repaired that card and got it corrected. But the ones that are out there in production in the wild are highly sought after. Won't tell you what the bat barrel said. You can go look that one up on your own. All right, Albert Joey Lavelle on the back there. All right, we've got Deion James with the Indians. I think there is a Deion Sanders card in here, actually, folks. Jim Gott with the Pirates. Craig Worthington with the Orioles. Greg Hibbert with the White Sox. There you go, Linda. Paul Cerrato with the Twins. There's a nice Sandberg. Finally, one that's actually well-centered. We'll get that sleeved up for you there, Andrew. Get that into a nice sleeve for you. All right. Checklist number 400. Nice Bo Jackson. Kendall Washington with the Angels. John Smoltz, another young John Smoltz with the Braves. Howard Johnson, Hojo All-Star. Don Mattingly. Mr. Mattingly there. Lance McCullers with the Yankees. Candy Maldonado with the Giants. Gary Carter. I haven't seen a Gary Carter. I can't remember how long. I have a nice Gary Carter 101 from some show that I picked up with some Boss 101. And it's old school 101 too. It's not like this modern stuff. Oh, that's a nice Gary Carter. That brings back a lot of memories. And Joey Bell with the Indians. I always remember Gary Carter as just being a really nice guy. Kind of guy you'd want to hang out with. Kind of guy you'd want to have like for an uncle maybe. Now, he may have had a past or something that I don't know about, but I don't remember anything that could be said wrong about Gary Carter. All right. There's a nice Mark McGwire. Well centered, actually. We'll evaluate later. Omar Vizquel for the Mariners. Don Paul with the White Sox. Julio Franco with the Rangers. Ernie Witt with the Blue Jays. Glenn Allen Hill with the Blue Jays. Remember him being with the Cubs later in his career. Vince Coleman with the Cardinals. Andy Bennis with the rated rookie card there. Pete Incaviglia, I can never pronounce his name, with the Rangers. Juan Samuel of the Mets. Steve Bergeron with the Giants. Gozo with the Blue Jays there. Felix Furman of the Indians. Jay Bell of the Pirates. Mark Turnmond of the Orioles. And another nice Ron Kittle with his glasses there. This was a back card, so this one might have a little bit of wax on it there, Linda. Next pack in the break here. Hopefully our stream is still going strong. I actually am smart this time and have the get rid of some of this. Whoops! Get rid of some of this junk in here. I actually have the stream health showing on my dashboard, so I know whether or not it dies. And if it does, I'll just pause it and we'll come back. Okay? Mickey Tettleton of the Orioles, Ron Karkovice with the White Sox. I was always disappointed when Karkovice was catching because I wanted to see Fisk. Shane Rowley of the Twins, Barry Larkin with the Reds, Jose Gonzalez of the Dodgers, Pedro Guerrero All-Star card there with the Cardinals. Hated the Cardinals growing up as a Cubs fan, of course. Glenn Braggs with the Brewers, Mike Stanton of the Braves, Todd Frushworth with the Phillies there. Billy Ripken, still haven't seen a Cal Ripken with the Orioles. George Bell with the Blue Jays, another Yaz. Dan Pluska with the Brewers, Scott Terry with the Cardinals, Al Leiter of the Blue Jays, and Ricky Jordan with the Phillies. Clean up some of this stack here to the side. Whew. Get those put away. Collation has been actually fairly decent, I think, for this particular box. Not that I would necessarily want to build a set of this. It doesn't go for much money. It's more about the fun of cracking the wax, just ripping the old wax. Got a nice Dave Schmidt on the back here. I don't know how nice it is. It's covered in wax. There we go. Get rid of Yaz. Rick Aguilera with the Twins. Von Hayes of the Phillies. Checklist number 200. Another nice Smoltzy. I got a Smoltz collection going on here. A little Smoltz PC. That one's with the Diamond Kings card there for the Braves. Claudel Washington of the Angels. Another Bo Jackson. Look at that one later. Mark Davis of the Padres. Gary Pettis of the Tigers, Eric Plunk with the Yankees, Ken Oberkfell with the Giants, Tim Turfel with the Mets, Jesse Orosco with the Indians, another Burn Smith. Actually, that might be the first Burn Smith Diamond Kings we've seen. We've seen a number of the other ones, his regular cards. Tracy Jones with the Tigers, Delino DeShields. Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in forever. There's his Raider rookie. No major league record at that point in 1989. Denotes led league. Well, he doesn't have anything to denote there. Although a shortstop by trade, he was given a trial by the Expos at second base after splitting the '89 season between Jacksonville and Indianapolis. Expos made him the 12th player overall selected in June '87 draft. Turned down a basketball scholarship to Villanueva to play baseball. Batted .252 with 12 home runs, 46 RBIs, and 59 stolen bases at Rockford in '88. Wow, I remember Delino DeShields. That's an awesome card. Dave Schmidt with the Orioles. Next up, getting towards the bottom here. Just 10 packs left. Way through this break. It's taking forever and a day. And I'm trying to talk as fast as I can, too. All right. Next up, we have got Gerald Clark of the Padres. Jose De Leon of the Cardinals. Junior Felix with the Blue Jays. Lenny Dykstra with the Phillies. I liked Lenny Dykstra as a kid. I don't know why. Ruben Sierra All-Star card there. Mike Heath with the Tigers. Keith Miller with the Mets. Randy Velarde with the Yankees. Joe McGrave with the Cardinals. Terry Steinbach with the All-Star card there for the A's. I was a fan of Steinbach, too. I don't know why. Just maybe the name. Maybe I was a fan of Steinbach the author. And so I like Terry Steinbach, the catcher. I don't know. Mickey Tettleton with the Orioles. Eric Yielding of the Astros. Mel Hall with the Yankees. Mark Portugal with the Astros. A Kevin Mitchell Diamond Kings card there for the Giants. And Todd Worrell with the Cardinals. We have not seen any Nolan Ryan in this box. And I don't believe I saw much Nolan Ryan in the previous box that I broke either. I actually picked up 2 of these boxes from Baseball Card Exchange because I want to make sure I had some for grading, just in case somebody picked up the Rangers, because that's really what I wanted to do, is get my Juan Gonzalez cards graded. And was hoping to get one of those reverse Juan Gonzalez cards, but it is what it is. There we go. There's our cardboard. Ed Whitten with the San Diego Padres there. Ed Whitson, sorry. The Diamond Kings. Kenny Rogers Rangers card. Kelly Mann rated rookie card with the Braves there. Jeff Ballard with the Orioles. There's a nice Carlton Fisk. We'll sleeve that one up for you too, Linda. Nice Carlton Fisk there. Nice sharp corners. A little off top to bottom, but not too bad. Let's see what the back looks like. Pretty sharp, pretty sharp. Carlton Ernest Fisk. What a name. Hometown boy, Lockport, Illinois. Juan Berenger with the Twins. There's a Harold Baines, like I said, in his White Sox uni. That is not a Rangers uni. That's so interesting. So that goes out to you, Linda. Alfredo Griffin with the Dodgers. Mickey Hatcher with the Dodgers. Don August with the Brewers. Gerald Perry with the Braves. Randy Reedy or Reddy, I can't tell, with the Phillies. Will the Thrill Clark, first baseman all-star there with the Giants. There's our first Cal Ripken. Nice Cal, a little off center, left to right, or right to left actually. There's a little bit more space over here on the left side than on the right side. Nice MVP card though, nonetheless. Another one of these Carl Yastrzemski cards. They really want me to put that puzzle together. And Chris Bozio with the Brewers. We're down to our last 8 packs. We're almost there. Almost there. Whew, I don't know if I'm going to do many more of these big boxes. There's a lot of cards to rip through. Never put one of these puzzles together. I probably should at some point. Doug Jones with the Indians. Bill Bath with the Giants. Greg Jeffries with the Mets. Hal Morris of the Yankees. Chris Carpenter of the Cardinals. Roberto Alomar with the Padres. Brian Downing of the Angels. Julio Franco, who I confused with Juan Gonzalez. There's another all-star card there. Frank Tanana with the Tigers. Cam Caminetti with the Astros. There's another, I think that's another Ozzie Guillen. If not the, yeah, we've had an Ozzie Guillen Diamond Kings there for Linda already. Milt Thompson with the Cardinals. Bob Boone with the Royals. Whoopsie. We've got a Tim Jones with the Cardinals. There's a Paul Kilgus with the Cubs. Don't remember him as a pitcher, but there he is. I'm sure, well, I don't remember him as a Cubs pitcher, but there he is. And Carlos Quintana with the Red Sox. A lot of bad centering on this particular box. Top to bottom is really off, especially on Cubs cards. I'm sorry about that, Andrew. Not much I can do. They are obviously 30-year-old cards, and the production wasn't so great back in the day as far as some of that stuff goes. Get rid of that. In fact, I just opened a box of 2019-20 Upper Deck Hockey Series 2, and let me tell you, some of those cards were so miscut, it was very disappointing. So it so happens today. Gary Milkey with the Rangers, Steve Finley with the Orioles, Luis Salazar with the Cubs. I always thought he looked like he was about 60 years old when he played for the Cubs, and I don't know why that is, because he was born in 56, so 90 would have put him at what, 30, 34? And I always thought he looked a lot older than he was. So there's Luis Salazar coming your way, Andrew. Oil Can Boyd. Squeaky Oil Can Boyd. I called him Squeaky. I'm sure nobody else did, but what else is an oil can for, right? There you go. Oil Can Boyd. First name for Oil Can was Dennis. Dennis Oil Can Ray Boyd. There you go. Billy Anderson with the Orioles. Darren Jackson with the Padres. Dan Pleska with the Brewers. There's a Jack Clark with the Padres. Mike Sharpenston with the Dodgers. Charlie Hayes of the Phillies. Kent Herbrick of the Twins. Gerald Young with the Astros. Ramon Martinez Pedro's brother again. Chuck Grimm with the Brewers. A really awfully miscut there. Scott Coolbaugh, rated rookie card. Look at the difference in size between the top and the bottom. There's a lot of red down there. Derek Lindquist of the Braves. Still have a few people watching, so that's great. I'm glad to see that. No one chatting, though. That's okay. It's all right. You don't have to chat. You don't have to talk to each other. You can be strangers. I don't mind. Kind of would like to have some people chatting though, because it'd be more fun for me to see people talking. Pedro Guerrero with the Cardinals. Dwayne Ward of the Blue Jays. Ricky Horton with the Cardinals. Pete O'Brien of the Indians. Dave Bergman with the Tigers. Jeff Musselman with the Mets. Andy Hawkins with the Yankees. Tom Brunansky of the Cardinals. Mark Parent with the Padres, Don Carmen with the Phillies, Jesse Barfield of the Yankees, Danny Jackson with the Reds, and Mike Flanagan with the Blue Jays, Mariano Duncan of the Reds, Tim Wallach of the Expos, and a nice Mickey Tettleton with the Orioles there. I'm actually sending that through the mail to see if I can get Mickey to sign that. That'd be a fun one to have autographed. These cards, by the way, do take an autograph very, very nicely. So if you're a through the mail kind of person, this is a great opportunity for you to get some of those cards signed. I like to have some fun with it when I do through the mail. It's been a while since I've done it because I think my postman got wise to it and some of my returns weren't coming through. But I've since changed postmen, so maybe I'll start doing that again. But I would send them a questionnaire, especially old timers. They really appreciated that. And I don't mean like the old timers that we're looking at now from 30 years ago. I'm talking about the guys who played in like the 60s. They really appreciated being asked questions about like what charity do you like and support and what teams did you hate going up against, where are your favorite places to play, things of that nature. There's another nice Carlton Fisk with the White Sox. That one's centered nicely too there, Linda. We might get that sleeve for you. I'll take a look at the other one. Alan Anderson of the Twins. Whoopsie. Tom Browning with the Reds. Kurt Schilling with the Orioles. Jay Howell of the Dodgers, Gary Sheffield with the Brewers, Mark Lemke of the Braves, John Crooks with the Phillies, Rene Gonzalez of the Orioles. Very nice Kirby Puckett. A little off center, but not too bad. This one's off center, bottom to top. So in other words, there's more red on the top than on the bottom. Mickey Sasser with the Mets, Jeff Petterick with the Brewers, Pedro Guerrero with the Cardinals, Junior Felix with the Blue Jays, Lenny Dykstra of the Phillies, and another Ruben Sierra, who I always got confused with Juan Gonzalez. Last 4 packs. We're at the bottom of the box here, folks. Hitting rock bottom, so to speak. Yeah. Alrighty. Lee Smith. He was already with the Red Sox at that point. I remember Lee Smith pitching for the Cubs in '84 when they made their run at the pennant. And oh man, that was a good team. Man, I miss the '84 Cubs. You had Smith, obviously. You had Bill Buckner was on that team, I do believe. Obviously, Rhino. Don't remember if Sean Dunson was there yet or not. I remember who else? Who else do I remember with that? What was the catcher's name? Steve Trout, was it? You know, lots of good players back then. So there's Lee Smith with the Red Sox, Jose Rios with the Reds, Danny Heap with the Red Sox, Bob Tewksbury with the Cardinals, Rob Murphy of the Red Sox, Ken Howell with the Phillies, Carmen Castillo of the Twins, Dave Smith with the Astros, Bob Welch with the A's. There's a nice Rhino All-Star. That one's actually pretty well centered there. We'll get that in a sleeve for you there too, Andrew. Make sure we get that one nicely sleeved up for you. There you go. Mike Fetters with the Angels, Scott Bradley with the Mariners, Joe Carter of the Indians, John Smoltz with the Braves. Pretty nice John Smoltz, third-year card there. Clay Parker with the Yankees, and Don Carmen with the Phillies. All right, do a little cleanup here. The Cubs stack got a little disheveled as we're putting stuff over to the side. Clean that up for you there, Andrew. We'll do the same for Linda. You guys are going head to head here as far as who's getting what, but you're all getting a whole bunch of cards, so that's a good thing, right? Should have plenty of fun to be had here with your White Sox and Cubs. It's a Chicago box break. There's only 2 people bought in, and both wanted the Chicago teams. So there we go. All right, next up. Last 3 packs. Down to the wire here. Hopefully the stream stays alive, because this is where we died last time with 4 packs to go. All right. Whew. We've got Mike Heath with the Tigers, Keith Miller of the Mets, Randy Veraldi with the Yankees. Another Joe McGrave. I think we've got about 7 of him today with the Cardinals. George Canal with the Brewers. Johnny Ray of the Angels. Juan Augusto of the Astros. Doug Strange with the Tigers. Jim Clancy of the Astros. Kevin Mitchell there with the Giants again. Todd Worrell of the Cardinals. Gary Milkey with the Rangers. Steve Finley with the Orioles. Very nice looking card. And we've got Luis Salazar with the Cubs. Old man Cub. Squeaky, Oil Can Boyd. And Rich Geldman of the Red Sox. Sure that, what was his full first name? That Dennis would not be too thrilled with me calling him Squeaky, but that's okay. You got Geronimo on the back here, which is a hot mess. Look at how stuck that is. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Geronimo Emilio Baroa, with the Braves. All right. We have Mike Dyer of the Twins. Scott Sanderson with the Cubs. I think that's our first Scott Sanderson, maybe. Frank Tanana of the Steve Jultz of the Phillies. Mike Fielder with the Brewers. Ron Robinson of the Reds. Dave Steve with the Blue Jays. Bryleven of the Angels. Bo Alward with the Indians. Another Mike Balecki. Diamond King there. Kevin Mitchell of the Giants. Jeff Hamilton of the Dodgers. Don August of the Brewers. Lee Stevens of the Angels. And Wallace Johnson with the Expos. Last pack. Last pack. We'll give this some. We'll give this some. Chase out the common. Last pack mojo. All right. Here we go. Last pack of the break. We have Jim Abbott with the Angels. Tom Henke with the Blue Jays. Tom Pasquazi with the Cardinals. Andy Van Slyke with the Pirates. I think this is our first Andy Van Slyke. I always thought he was Dick Van Dyke. I kid you not. I always thought Andy Van Slyke was Dick Van Dyke. Isn't that sad? Dave Anderson of the Dodgers. Guillermo Hernandez of the Tigers. Tim Belcher of the Dodgers. Another nice Tony Gwynn. Sharp looking. Little off center. A little less on the top than on the bottom there, but it's all right. Mike Schuler of the Mariners. Chip Hale of the Twins. Rafael Palmeiro with the Rangers. Pat Combs, rated rookie card for the Phillies. Rick Ruschel of the Giants. Brian Harper of the Twins. Pete Hirschmer of the Orioles. And Brett Butler of the Giants. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A whole lot of red cards. Over at Jabs Cards, the Jabs family cards, they were doing a break of this stuff just for fun. They weren't actually breaking and selling spots like we did for this one. But he was talking about how much he absolutely hated the set, probably one of the top 10 worst sets. And I disagree. I think it's a very lovely little set. Very, very interesting. A lot of decent looking pictures. Diamond Kings could probably be a little better. Let's take a look at what's staying in-house that was worth holding on to. We got that Mickey Tettleton that I'm going to send out for through the mail. MVP, Delino to Shields, rated rookie. Nice Bo Jackson MVP there. McGuire, remember my tip on McGuire. Start buying him now. He's going to get hot this summer. Gary Carter, love Gary Carter. Don Mattingly with the Yankees there. John Smoltz, part of my new PC collection of Smoltzy. Bo Jackson, Donruss Diamond King. Sandy Alomar Jr., rated rookie. Dave Stewart, a couple of them there. I'll look at those later. Maybe I'll get those slab. They would look really nice. And maybe an SGC slab, not really a PSA slab. Randy Johnson, always good to have a Randy Johnson in your collection. Who remembers Randy Johnson when he hit the bird with his fastball? What was it, a pigeon? That was crazy. Mike Schmidt with the Phillies there. Beautifully centered on the back. That one I'm definitely considering grading. Bo Jackson with the Royals. Juan Gonzalez. Fairly well centered, a little off left to right. I'll have to look at my other one and see how that looks. Ben McDonald, rated rookie. That one looks pretty sharp. Larry Walker. It's a little off left to right, but I'll evaluate that one later. Another Ben McDonald. The Yaz card, just to show you what that puzzle looks like. And a Kirk Gibson error card, which I'm definitely sending in because I think that one's going to come back pretty decent, and it's got his wrong birthday on it. So that's part of the fun of this set is those chases, right? All right, let's take a look at who we have. Going out to Andrew. Andrew, you've got Mike Balecki, Diamond King, Scott Sanderson, pitcher, Luis Salazar, fielder. Ryan Sandberg, all-star card, our second baseman. There's another Luis Salazar. Paul Kilgus, pitcher for the Cubs. Another Sandberg. You did well on the Sandbergs today, Andrew. Sean Dunston of the Cubs. Mitch Williams of the Cubs. Another Sandberg. Really nice looking Sandberg, though. That one's not too bad. Top to bottom, it's a little off, but not awful. We'll get that in a sleeve for you. I don't know why that one's not sleeved up. There we go. Jerome Walton of the Cubs, obviously. Outfielder. Rick Warner, the catcher I never knew. Another Ryan Sandberg. Kurt Wilkerson, infielder. Mike Bilecki, pitcher. Sean Dunston, shortstop. Mike Harkey. Dwight Smith. Paul Ossenmacher. Wes Lancaster. A nice Mark Grace. A little off center left to right, but not too bad. Mitch Webster, outfielder for the Cubs. Another Mike Bilecki, Diamond Kings. Vance Law, who I always got confused with Ryan Sandberg, and I don't know why. But I would always confuse that stance. Sandberg had a very similar stance. And Jeff Pico, pitcher for the Cubs. For Linda, we ended up with a nice Carlton Fisk. We'll sleeve that one up for you, too. What the heck? It's only a penny. All right, there we go. We'll get that sleeved up right there. We got that Ozzie Guillen Diamond King card. We've got a Harold Baines All-Star. Carlton Fisk, again. Ron Karkovic, the other catcher. Ron Kittle, White Sox, obviously. Designated hero card there. Don Paul, pitcher. Greg Hibbard, pitcher. Carlos Martinez, first base. Sean Kilgus, pitcher. Carlton Fisk, MVP. Ozzie Guillen. I told you there was an Ozzie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got it confused there. I thought that was Harold Baines for a second. I could swear there's a regular Harold Baines in a White Sox uni. Anyway, Ron Kittle, designated hitter. Don Paul, pitcher. Melindo Perez, pitcher. There's our Sammy Sosa, again by Sosa. These two cards, McGuire and Sosa are going to be hot because of that series that's coming out this summer. Look what happened with Jordan cards, just with the Last Dance. Another Carlton Fisk MVP card. Ozzie Guillen, Diamond King. Lance Johnson, outfielder. Scott Fletcher, second base. And another Melindo Perez, pitcher. I do not remember this guy. Maybe it's because he had a 7.84 ERA with the Royals, and in 89 he had a 5.01 ERA with the White Sox. Maybe that's why I don't remember him. But anyway, there he is. Headed your way, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for joining this break. It has been so much fun. I enjoy going back and looking at these cards from the early 90s. And I hope to see you next time. We've got a Fleer 94 box, or excuse me, a Fleer 95 box already up on eBay. If you're interested in jumping into that one, I do encourage you to do so. It should be a fun little break. Also have a box of 2011-12 score hockey coming up. So some fun things. Oh, and I've got a box of 91-92 Upper Deck Series 2 Jumbo basketball. So we'll be chasing Jordan soon enough. All right, until next time, keep ripping the wax. Keep ripping the wax. There's so much orange wax on the floor. Keep ripping the wax. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.